do, as you can see, I now have my engine turned top dead center. If you look at that special gear there, okay, that tooth, okay, it's opposite the top dead center mark. But what I do now, I turn it back a little bit, okay. I turn it back so that the pistons are not top dead center, because when I do fit the head, okay, and I do fit the cam in, sometimes, you know, when you turn the cam down, then the valves protrude, and I don't want the valves to touch the pistons. So I'll keep the pistons all down, away from top dead center, all four of them, okay, until I'm ready to time the motor, and then I'll bring the gear up to top dead center, okay, because then I know that I will turn my cam first. I'll turn it so that the valves are open, you know, so that it won't touch the pistons. It's just a precaution. You don't have to do it, but it is a precaution that I take when I fit, you know, when I do a job like this. So I've got the head ready to go. Okay, I've got it clean. The can is not in the head. Okay, because everything's been done on the cylinder. We've done your valves, we've done your guides, we've done everything. Okay, ready to go on. So now the first thing that we do is we get the gasket. So now we have the gasket out. We just take the plastic off the gaskets. And now we've got to orientate, we've got to put the gasket on properly. And this gasket can only go on one way, because if you put it on, you know, it actually cannot go on wrong. So we've got, basically, you see, we've got two dowels here, okay, protruding dowels. So if we put the dowels down like that, okay, the gasket is not on properly, right? So we've got to flip it around. We keep the dowels and we flip it around. Now we'll take a look and we'll make sure that there are no blocked up holes. There's no holes that are blocked, that everything lines up properly. Okay, make sure about that. Once we have that all sorted, now we can take our head, okay, and we can put our head on to the block like that, okay. We're going to now need our new bolts. Remember, now we'll orientate the engine, you know, the cylinder head, we'll orientate the cylinder head so that, you know, it faces, the cams are going to face the front, same with the pulley over there. Right, so maybe we'll just give us more elevation with the camera here. Right, so now we'll get the new bolts. As I say, when we do cylinder heads, we don't mess around. Okay, we use brand new bolts. So we'll be taking the bolts out. Here we have our brand new bolts. Okay, that's what they look like. They spline bolts. What size? I think it's okay, so we'll basically use a 12 spline, okay, for our bolts. So we'll take our new bolts, get them in nicely, turn them, make sure that they thread. We'll do all of them, all new bolts. Now, these bolts are going to be stretched, okay, because the setting here is 30 Newton meters, and then it gets stretched 90 and 90 again. Now, if I try and stretch on this platform, this engine's going to fall off. So I'm going to put the engine into the engine bay first and then torque the engine properly. But I will be doing the 30 Newton meter tight. Okay, I'll tighten it 30 Newton meters just to make sure that everything is in place. You know, that it doesn't lift, buckle or bend while I'm putting the engine into the engine compartment. So we'll just first make sure that we've got a little bit of thread on each bolt here, okay, before we start tightening it down, because as we know, you know, sometimes when we put bolts in and we put them in one by one, you know, we struggle to get some of the bolts in, you know. Now what I'm going to do with this engine, I'm going to time this whole engine up. I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm going to put on the cam, I'm going to put on the cam gear, I'm going to put on the water pump, because the water pump gets driven by the cam belt as well. Then we're going to go top dead center, where I'll show you exactly how to time this motor up. But for now, I'll get back to you. I'm going to tighten all that down and torque it down to 30 Newton meters, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've got my torque wrench set on 30 Newton meters. We'll start in the middle, okay, because there are 5. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we'll go, that's 30 Newton meters. 30 Newton meters, we'll go opposite. 30 Newton meters. See how I'm tightening opposite, so that we tighten the head down evenly, so that we don't buckle or warp the head. Okay. We'll go out to the furthest one. Opposite, like that. And as I say, we're gonna need to stretch this 90 degrees each, okay? But with Newton meters, you can double check your settings, okay? And as you know, in my experience, you know, as we tighten them to the out, when we do it the second time, you'll find that they actually gone loose again, you know, because we're busy tightening them evenly now. Okay, you can actually access these torque bolts, you know, even after you have put the tappet cover on, right? So there, we have it torqued down 30 Newton meters. That's as far as I'm going to go for now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stretch it once the engine is in, because then the engine won't move around. Because right now, if I must try and stretch it at 90 degrees, I'm going to pull this engine off the platform I'm working on. Okay, so now I'll show you how we time this engine. As I said, we will complete the torque when the engine is in the engine bay.